into the newest edition of Pure Picks. We got UFC Fight Night, Muhammad versus Bonfim here coming up this Saturday. Got my man Gerard. What you up to, man?
Doing good. Just finished watching the finals. Game one. It was a good game, but I'm ready for some more fights.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that basketball shit. Let's get into some UFC real quick. Yeah, I mean, last week, yeah, just really, really disappointing. The China card, the Macau card, I had really good vibes about it, but we rode the wrong Chinaman. It looks like I really thought that Ming Yang was the lock of the card, best value in the card. Unfortunately, tripled down on him, putting him in 2 parlays and then a prop as well. We could have lessened the blow a little bit by putting maybe instead of the prop, maybe like the under 1.5, because I really felt like that fight was going to end in within 1 round, especially with the 2 fighters that were in that matchup. But overall, due to the Ming Yang exposure, it would have been a bad night anyways. That's I mean, the Sumaderji no contest, that was unfortunate. I mean, I know that was a kind of a close fight, but I think Sue was about to pull away, and unfortunately, he caught Alex in the nuts. And, it's a unfortunate no contest. I think that was still a good pick, but that could have saved us a unit there too. So, yeah, it's another night of missed opportunities, but, 3 weeks of red. We really need to get back on track, and hopefully this is the week to do it. Gerard, we got any thoughts on the Macau?
Yeah, this Macau card is basically Ming Yang was the main one. What I should have did instead was just ride with my most confident plays, which was Jake Matthews and Ray Soroya. I should have just put them in a 2-leg, maybe add in Pavlovich as my most confident heavy favorite pick. That could have been a 3-leg there. But we sprinkled Ming Yang around, and that was not it. So, yeah, that was bad on us.
Yeah, it's just another one of those weeks where it's like I feel like for the majority of the card we picked it pretty right, but we had a not great habit of riding one guy or putting a little bit more exposure on one person, and he just blows up the whole card. So, yeah, let's not do that perhaps for this week, but let's see if there's someone worthy, I guess, for this fight card. Next fight obviously is the Muhammad versus Bonfim one. Definitely looking into this one deep for the values or some plays that could be good. I would like to kind of just start off with the main event. I think it's a really good one actually. Great matchup. I think that potentially it could be one guy going out of kind of being a gatekeeper, if you will, right? I mean that's how they're kind of treating Belal right now with this matchup. He's number 5. Gabriel is number 11. Gabriel is obviously coming in on a winning streak. He's been winning a lot. What are your thoughts on this main event, man, to kick it off?
Yeah, for this one, remember the name Belal Muhammad and Bonfim. I am leaning Belal. I used to be more confident in Belal, but I think a little less confident now that he's 37 years of age, almost 38, and we don't know how quick the steep of a downfall he can be coming in at this time of his career. And for Bonfim, I mean, he's got a lot of wins, his past 4 wins, 4-win streak, but I'm not exactly too impressed by his wins. I mean, one of those wins, Stephen Thompson, I thought he lost that one. And then Ange Lusa, Chaos Williams, they're solid fighters, but not like a contender level. And Randy Brown, he's kind of one-dimensional, so to speak. So against Belal Muhammad, who can throw a lot of volume, mix in the grappling, and can even use his cardio as a weapon in a 5-round fight, that gives me more confidence in someone who fights like that than Bonfim, who it seems shaky in his wins. I mean, the last time he fought an old guy, Nicholas Dalby, he gassed himself out and lost by TKO. So I used to be more confident in Belal, but right now I'm less confident, but I'm still leaning Belal in this one.
I think I'm a little bit more confident in Belal than you. I think that this is a spot where we need to put a money line play in on him. Reasons why I think I think it's time for us to see the Bond fraud coming back in. This guy Bond fraud comes up every now and then, and depending on the right matchup, he's Bonfim. But I'm sensing a little Bond fraud action here coming in. We his last loss. We need to talk about that. You had mentioned that, right? Like Nicholas Dalby, a guy who super old, even like when he lost to him in 2023, that was like 2.5 years ago. What Nicholas Dalby was probably like 45 or something. At this point, I don't know. I think when he fought Nicholas Dalby, Nicholas was like 40 or 38 or something. I don't know. But Belal, I mean, he's 37 right now. It's a kind of a similar profile, right? You got a guy who has. We know that Belal has better cardio in him. I don't think that's even a question, even at age 37. That's the one thing that Belal can still maintain. Obviously, he's getting up there in age. He is getting older, but I'll give the cardio advantage to him. So in a 5-round fight, I'm thinking that that's going to be pretty key. It may look shaky in the beginning. I think Bonfim's going to come in there with more power. The youth on his side, he's going to have some juice on him. So for the first 2-3 rounds, potentially, it could look a little worrying for Belal. But I think that Belal can steal one of those first 3 rounds. Rounds 4 and 5 are his. I think that he's going to be more heavily favored in rounds 4 and 5. So he just really needs to win one of those 3 rounds and not get finished. And I mean, this guy is Bilal's remember the name. I mean, he's remembered the decision. I don't really even remember the last time this guy was finished. It was like maybe when he lost to think like Jeff Neal or something like that. It's been a while. Like I really don't remember the last time this guy's been finished. And he hasn't been finishing other people as well, unless you count that Sean Brady jet lag one, right? So it's like I think this is going decision with Belal here, and the matchup wise, I mean, striking power go to Bonfim, but I think Belal is still a bit underrated. It's just the matchups that have been presented so far. It's made him look worse than he is. I mean, he's had to fight technical guys on the feet. Like Ian Gary beat Carlos Prates. We have to remember that too. Like that's how good Ian Gary is. Ian Gary most likely will be fighting for the title next. It's either him or Morales, right? So he's lost to a title contender. JDM was the former champion. Say what you will about JDM, but he's a better striker than Bonfim. I mean, and he made Belal look bad, but Belal, I don't know what he was doing in that fight, to be honest. He did some try to show the Canelo hands for some reason. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, bad game plan. But nonetheless, I think they just made him look bad because he's just worse on the feet than those guys. I think this one's a little closer. I don't think Belal's that much off of Bonfim's stand up here. And for the grappling, Belal has that wrestling. He has that grinded out wrestling. I could see where Bonfim, he's a jiu-jitsu player. He might be okay with Belal taking him down, maybe playing on his back a little bit and maybe trying to find a sub, right? Like I could also see that and, maybe not try to get back up with urgency. He might just try to do a little jiu-jitsu on the back, on the bottom game. So I see some advantages here for Belal. Enough advantages to where I'm comfortable with having him as a money line play. Tell you guys the odds right now. Bonfim opened up at a -150, and now he's a +100. So opened up as a moderate favorite. Now he's a underdog. Right now, Belal is -120. So I think this is solid right now. What you could also do is you could also play Belal by decision. I think that could also be a fair play there. Odds for that right now is +165. So you get dog odds on Belal Muhammad in, I think, what is his most likely win condition is by a decision, unless Bond Fraud just comes up and frauds out 100%. He gets finished somehow. there is. I want to also have a disclaimer. I mean, there is there is a chance that Bonfim could find a submission here. That is not without that's not out of the woods. He's very talented there, but I mean, this guy couldn't even finish Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who is himself like 40. Like he's fought a lot of old guys, and it's just like I was full honesty. I mean, I was on Bonfim in that fight, and I was sweating the whole fight. I thought that was a really close fight. Could have gone to Wonderboy. I think most people thought it was a robbery, honestly. But yeah, I think
Looks
yeah.
he looks bad against old fighters.
I know. It's just the track records is not good for this guy against some of these old cats. Guys with like cardio who these guys are just like proven cardio machines, right? They can fight for 3 rounds, 5 rounds. He's fighting yet another cardio machine here in Belal Muhammad. So yeah, unless Belal comes in there just ages overnight or something like that, I think that he has enough advantage here to warrant a slight favorite, and I would be hunting his prop honestly, plus 165. That sounds solid to me right now. For the next fight, you got anything that you want to talk about for the card?
Go with the co-main event, the middleweight match, Brendan Allen and Edmen Shahbazyan. Oh, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, first initial reaction here that I had was going with Brendan Allen because I swear I've seen Edmund just be in very compromising positions on the grappling for years now. It's just I haven't really seen the crazy amount of improvement from him in that respect, especially fighting yet another high level guy in grappling in Brendan Allen, right? Like this is yet another high level matchup. Edmund, I mean, I know he's been on a bit of a winning streak, right? He's beaten 3 straight grapplers in a row. Each of them have been better and better. So I guess I see why the match is being made here. It's progressing each person in the grappling department. I mean, he knocked out Dylan Buka. He decision Petrosky, and then he beat Munaiz. I mean, but I think Andre was probably out of the fighting at that point. He didn't look like he was a suitable fighter anymore in the UFC, at least in the ranked division. Um, I think it's a little bit of a step up though, in terms of like going from Munaiz to Brandon All in Allen. I mean, this is a guy who just made RDR quit. That's no small feat. I was on RDR that fight. I thought RDR was going to win, and Brandon Allen just outlasted him and made him quit. He just beat up Vittori, right? I mean, I think both of these guys are better than the last guys that Shahbazyan has faced. I'm still going with Brendan Allen, but the only concern I have about Brendan Allen is that his decision making in the cage is very worrisome sometimes. He gets into a lot of situations where he plays into his opponent's strength for whatever reason, and he doesn't go into his own strength, which I think his bread and butter is really his grappling, his wrestling, his good submissions. His striking is also good, but I don't think it's the thing that's going to get him to the top there. And if he tries to go out exchange with Edmund Shahbazyan, that's where it can get very worrying for me because Edmund, if anything, is a good striker. Yeah, he has a lot of skill in that sense. Most of the losses he's had really is just people out grappling him, right? So I think that could we see another matchup where Brendan Allen is GM3, and it could look dicey for first few rounds or something, and then he just finds a sub later on because Allen's just a better submission, grappler and all that. I can see that. But my pick is Brendan Allen. I think I'm probably going to stay away from this one, though. It is a very dicey either way. Yeah, I can't. I'm not confident in laying dog odds on Edmund or favorite odds on Brendan Allen here. Maybe something ends inside the distance. Maybe that's a good way to play it. But I think I'm going to probably pass on this one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this one, obviously my early thoughts were Brendan Allen, just all in Allen. But yeah, it's the power that kind of scares me. And like you said, the decision making of he strikes when he should be grappling and he grapples when he should be striking at times. And like Shahbazyan, he's been getting better at beating grapplers these days. And Muniz was his last win. But yeah, I just think Brendan Allen is at a different level and he's like a true contender for the belt. And I mean, beating Renner de Ritter, Marvin Vittori, I think even both of those guys may be even able to beat Edmund Shabazian as well. So yeah, I'm siding with Brendan Allen, but yeah, I'm just not 100% sure that Brendan Allen's not gonna dive into the striking early on when he shouldn't be, I think. So that's my only concern. And I think I would maybe put one play on Brendan Allen, maybe in one parlay. I think that's as far as I'll go for doing any bets on him on this card. Those are my thoughts.
For sure. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, even thinking about it, I remember that Chris Curtis fight, right? I mean, it could be similar to something like this where, obviously a striker, but even then, I mean, Brendan Allen entertained the striking a lot more than he should have against a guy who, I mean, he's maybe a good defensive grappler, but like Brendan Allen is obviously a better grappler than Chris Curtis. It's just like, I don't know why maybe he couldn't just make the game go or like, but he was in a lot of just striking exchanges with a guy that was a better boxer than him, like for no reason. And he barely survived that fight by the skin of his teeth to win that. So yeah, that was a interesting one. But next fight that I wanted to talk about actually is one that I had on my mind right now. So we're gonna go down to the prelims, and I wanted to talk about the Bruno Silva versus Edgar Cháirez fight here. This fight right now, the odds, I think that Bruno Silva is minus 135 and he opened up at minus 110. So a little bit of action is going in on Bruno Silva here. Before I get started on my thoughts, I mean, I also want to hear your thoughts. Like, what do you think about this fight between Silva and Cháirez here?
Yeah, I mean, I like watching both of these fighters. They're pretty aggressive and really bring the fight. And well, what I see is Bruno Silva. He's fought the better guys and has looked good, but in his losses, I feel like he looks worse than Edgar Chavez does in his losses. And they both fought Josh Van. Obviously, Chavez looked better than Bruno Silva against Josh Van. I mean, the Manel Cop loss by Bruno Silva, that one was also bad. So that was back to back bad showings. Young Sung Park, he showed us why he's always in that contender area in this weight class, top 10, top 15. And against Charles Johnson, he was bringing the fight to Charles Johnson the whole fight. He lost the split. I thought he should have got the nod for that one. Charles Johnson was like on his bike for most of the fight, I thought. And in that type of fight, I thought Bruno Silva should have won that. So for Edgar Chavez, in his losses, he just looks way better in the losses than Bruno Silva has. I mean, Tatsuro Taira, Joshua Van, both top tier fighters who just had that big title fight last month. And he had good moments in both of those losses. The only thing in this matchup, from what I see, is in Chairez's wins, he doesn't look as good as Silva does in Silva's wins. So it's like a flip flop of one looks better at losses and the other looks better in their wins. So in this one, I don't know if Chairez will be able to get his submission down against a Bruno Silva. Bulldog Silva, a lot of experience being in there with everybody. I think maybe his best shot is to hurt Silva in the stand up striking wise. But I don't know if he can even do that because his last fight, Edgar Chairez got a split decision with Felipe Bunez, which I think he was a big favorite in, and he ended up at a split decision. So, I mean, Bruno Silva, good showing his last loss, but man, 36 years old. I'm still gonna lean Bruno Silva. I think he's just more of a complete MMA skill set, and I just don't know how successful Edgar Cháirez can be in a full 3-round fight against Bruno. So, yeah, my side is Bruno right now. What do you think?
I'm pretty confident in Bruno here. I think that he's a yet another person that is could be a good money line play. Same thing with kind of Bilal Muhammad in terms of the value. So a few reasons why it's literally I was about to kind of mention what you had mentioned actually. It's Cháirez. He seems to be one of those people who in his fights it's a good like losing like good loser bet. It's like if you want to bet on him and watch a guy do well and probably not get the decision or just lose. I think he's your guy. But if you want to get a winning bet and sweat it out, he's also your guy. Because man, that we were on him. I'm pretty sure we were on. Like I was definitely on him against Felipe Bunez, or that was. I had no idea how hard he made it. Like he made it look very hard against a guy who I thought he was gonna sub or finish pretty quickly. And it was in like I'm pretty sure that was in like Mexico too. So I was that was just a very concerning fight from him as like a minus. I swear he was like a minus like 600, 500 or something like that. It was a very big favorite that he was against a guy who in Felipe Bunes, who I don't think he's even had any success in the UFC level yet, like any good success. So ever since I watched that fight, I've been waiting for an opportunity to just fade this guy, depending on the opponent, right? And long and behold, I think Bruno Silva is perfect criteria for some of these guys who I want to fade, like a Cháirez. I mean, in the areas that I think matter, I think Silva has him in the grappling. I think he has him in the striking, and I think he's just more of a dog than Cháirez. I really do, man. I think that when he's gonna put his foot forward, put on the gas pedal, if he walks forward, I think he's gonna find Cháirez at some point, either by knockout, potentially even the sub. I think Cháirez has been getting like kind of skating by here. I mean, he's obviously Josh Van's fantastic, right? But man, Josh Van is one of those guys who just makes like exponential growth each time because he's so young. So he fought Cháirez when he was like kind of really young, right? And it's like I think that if Van fought Cháirez now, I think he will knock him out at some point. Like it may be in the second round at this point. I think that even like going back to what I said about Silva's a dog, even if let's say Cháirez finds some success in the early portions, he could end up like Cody Durden. Like Cody Durden looked like a top 5 flyweight when he was fighting Bruno Silva for like the first round or something. Like I hadn't seen that from Cody Durden yet, and all it took was really like one solid like uppercut strike, and the fight just completely changed. I think that Cody just underestimated the kind of power and striking that Bruno Silva had. I don't know if Cháirez is going to underestimate that. I think he is. He knows that this guy's kind of game, but Silva, I mean, he has that in him. He has that dog in him. He's alive at like I think any moment, unless he's getting finished or But I mean, he's only been losing to really like top level guys, man. Like just the last few losses that he's had. I mean, Manal Cop probably should be fighting for the championship. Josh Van is the champion right now. Charles Johnson is a guy who has stymied many fighters. He knocked out the current champion, right? So it's like, and that was a very close fight. Cháirez getting into a sweat with Felipe Bunes, choking out CJ Vergara, a guy who runs away in fights, losing Josh Van, a year and a half ago. And then he fought Daniel Lacerda twice. I mean, it's like, that's I'm just really not really sure about the track record on the Cháirez side here. So I think I'm ready to pounce on Silva. I think he just has him covered in all the areas. I mean, you can even look in the UFC stats if you want to get like really just analytical with it and like go for a metrics based approach. Silva lands more than him, better striking percentage, better striking defense. more of a takedown game, more of a strike. Like all of the metrics go to Silva. The only thing is, I mean, obviously Cháirez is bigger, but I don't think that matters too much in flyweight. I think that all these guys are kind of smaller in a sense. So it's yeah. I think I'll go Silva here minus 135. I would be confident just doing a money line play of that, or if you want to pair him up with like just another lock that you potentially see on the card, I wouldn't mind doing that as well. Could pair him up with a guy like Alessandro Costa, who can just fade Schnell, who most likely will get knocked out in that fight. So you get an easy juicer, I think. But yeah, you go that
Wow,
route.
it might be upset.
Nah, I don't think there's an upset there. Or
I do.
you can just go the money line too. I mean, it's really up to you. You could also go Marcus McGee. There's a lot of fighters that I think could be good potential parlay pieces with him. But yeah, I think that's my first thought right now is I think we should probably ride Silva with this. Any other fights that you want to talk about on this card?
Another one that's interesting is also close odds as well is that Bryce Mitchell versus Santiago. See that one? That's that bantamweight fight. I think Santiago is he's a short notice. I don't know how long ago was he added here. Yeah, but Bryce Mitchell was supposed to fight Victor Henry, and Henry pulled out. He's really young. I mean, he's 21 years of age. They're trying to build him up as a superstar. I see. What are your thoughts on this one?
Initially, I had Bryce Mitchell, but I could also see the case for Luna here. Yeah, I think this one's a little bit tough. It's just because it is a little short notice. Like I don't know exactly how this might play out. It just really depends on if you think that Bryce Mitchell is going to be able to get his wrestling on this kid. If he can, then he most likely will ride this guy to a decision. He could find a sub too, but I think this kid's skilled enough to kind of survive that from Bryce Mitchell. Most likely, he'll probably get ridden out for 25 minutes, for 15 minutes here. It's just man, it's a bit concerning for Bryce in some of his last few fights. That's the only hesitation that I have really. Is he going to be able to do that for 15 minutes without getting like knocked out? That's a huge concern I have for Bryce Mitchell right now. His durability, his chin, it just seems to be deteriorating each and every fight. I mean, just even look at the last fight. He got knocked down by Said Nurmagomedov. He still won the fight, which is good. He won it with his grappling, obviously, and his wrestling. Did 3 takedowns for 9 minutes of control time, 29-28. So he lost one round where he got knocked down. He won the other 2, right? But I don't know. I don't know how often you want to play that game of getting knocked down and trying to get back up. That's hard. He's just been getting pieced up a lot, and these aren't like I don't know how else to say it. Like this guy, you basically can just count the John Silva ones and knockout. This guy's getting knocked around. Same thing with the Ilya Taporio one. I mean, he kind of just gave up at the end and let Ilya arm triangle him. Josh Emmett. I mean, we
Yeah,
know what happened there. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a dicey one.
damn. I'm thinking, is Santiago Luna really that good? He's
Yeah, we don't really know much about him either. I mean, it's he fought Angel Pacheco. I think that guy is not like he's so bad. He's literally like a punching bag. So I don't know what to say about that guy. He's literally a punching bag. He knocked out my Vietnamese brother Quang Lee, who I mean I support my brother, but that guy is not that great either. So it's going from the punching bag to fighting a guy like Bryce Mitchell, who was like undefeated at one point, ranked. But hey, man, Bryce Mitchell might be a punching bag himself at this point. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I'm still leaning Mitchell here, but is just a lot of like uncertainties that make me want to stay away from this. I don't know. Like personally, for me, like I don't see the value on this fight either side.
yeah. For me, I think I'm siding with Bryce Mitchell here. I think this is too short of a notice. a step up for Santiago, who's 21. Who knows? He might be like the Chiwiwi of strikers. Who I know he has a wrestling background too, but yeah, I think this is just too quick of a turnaround, and I think you probably need a full camp at 21 against the style of Bryce Mitchell. And yeah, what is he? Minus 135, minus 140 for Bryce. I think that could be worth a stab there. This is almost like a debut against a real fighter for Santiago and is off short notice. I'm just gonna have to ride with Bryce, the tried and true tested. I mean, it says here, I know we've seen Bryce get smacked around sometimes, but on the significant strike stats, it says is he absorbs 1.6 strikes. Does that mean it only needs one to,
That's what
to get
that's what it
to
seems
get
like.
finished, or
I
or he's actually he can has the defense and grappling to not get hit as much in the fight, you
I mean,
know?
I think really early on, Bryce was just really good at control times and grappling, so he never really needed to absorb any of those shots. I think that's why the numbers are a little low there. And then when he finally kind of faced the upper echelon of featherweight, now bantamweight at least, all it really has been is just kind of taking one shot. Like he's been getting dropped. He got dropped his last fight against Said Nurmagomedov, who I mean, I think Said's a good striker though. Is this kid that good? I just don't know. I don't know if this kid's that good. I can't really take away anything from the Pacheco fight. I can't really take away anything from the Quang Lee fight. This is the great unknown here, and yeah, it's. I see where you're coming from though. If it's like the value there minus 140 for someone who's a known entity versus someone who's like a little bit more of an unknown entity, you can kind of see where that is. But I kind of don't even want to pay the price to find out either way. Like I just think there's yeah, this is a stay away from me. Do you think that Bryce is gonna get a decision or a submission? Like, how do you think he's gonna win?
I think both of those are possible in this fight. Decision or submission is live, I think. I don't know if Santiago has faced someone with Bryce's control and grappling ability. So this is going to be completely new waters to him. And who knows? Bryce can even maybe make it look like that Pat Sabatini William Gomis fight, just be a wet blanket type of fight. So I think dominant performances can show up from Bryce in this fight. And the only way for Santiago, I think, to have a dominant performance is if he finishes Bryce, knocks him out. But I'm not too sure that that will happen against Bryce. And was it this featherweight now?
It's bad and 130.
Oh, bantamweight. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure if that will happen to Bryce in this one. I think we need to see more from Santiago. I mean, his last fight was against Pacheco, was like kind of bit of a punching bag. So Bryce is not going to be standing there like that. So yeah, I'm almost pretty confident in Bryce, to be honest, against this 21-year-old potential star. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my end, those are mainly kind of the fights that I wanted to talk about. But did you have anything else on your end?
I like some heavy favorites here, but I don't see the reason to talk about them right now. I guess I could just say just real quick, this could be like the dumbest take ever, but I actually think Matt Schnell has a shot against short notice Costa and break a lot of parlays. So I think that one has upset potential on this card, but that's all I got for this one.
For sure. Yeah, so the fight card, it's gonna be I think a standard time in the Apex, so it's gonna be a regular week. Obviously, the week after that we got Freedom UFC, so always opportunities there, but the eyes maybe are on next week now, but I think hey, like sometimes these are the weeks where the money could be made, right? Like where there's less eyes on it, there's more market inefficiencies, so you try to attack those inefficiencies while we can. Best of luck to everybody. we'll be back for the next fight card.